You are now tuning in to the Val Val Show, where conversation is art. Conversation is art. Conversation is art. You should chime in. Ain't no telling. Yeah, start on the Val Show. Ain't no telling. The Val Val Show. You know, ain't no telling where we go on the Val Val Show. Ain't no ceiling, cause the art of conversation is the flow. It's that creativity available when we speak, available in our homes, available in the streets. We just trying to get it spark and take it a little deeper. Keep it casual while fireside chatting with our people. Yeah, we take it a little deeper and get hot when we fireside chatting with our people. Cause conversation is art, conversation is art. You should chime in, ain't no telling what'll spark on the Val Val Show. The Val Val Show.
Yo, what's up? What's up? You know what it is. It's Thursday, people, and it is time for the Val and Val Show. Conversation is art. Conversation is art. You already know the hook line on this thing. Come on, join in and get your friends on the line. Let them know that we are diming on here tonight. And do we have a show for you? Heck yeah! We got a fire show for you tonight, y'all. It's gonna be lit, or as the young people say, litty fitty, because we are Val and Val. I'm Valton Johnson, and my co-host is
Valerie Jones. What's up?
What's up? You already know Thursday night is where it's happening on Facebook and YouTube live. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? We got a guy. This dude has been playing his instrument for a long time. So, when we were kids, this cat was about 2 doors down from me. And we were like, why he won't come out and play basketball? What's wrong with him? But then when he came out to play basketball, we were like, go back inside because he was better than we were. This boy blowing a saxophone and can play basketball. I'm like, man, go on, get on out here with them scat songs. Go back in the house. But this dude was playing the saxophone melodiously as a child and has grown into a grown man, pastoring, ministering through the gospel, and using his saxophone mouthpiece. And the brother can sing. And the brother can sing. And the brother can sing. He put the saxophone to the side, ladies and gentlemen, and he then hits those notes, and saints just fall out. Ow! Ow! He slammed in the spirit, Valerie. He slammed in the spirit.
Well, look, Valta, now, who you talking about? You get me excited.
My brother, my frat brother too, Pedro O. Moore Sr. What's up, dude?
What is up? What is up? How's everything?
Everything's good, man.
Hey, I started looking around. I'm like, oh my God, who is he talking about? I'm gonna have to pray for that baby mouth. Jesus, help him.
Yeah, you know you got the talent, man. You know you got the talent. Valerie, this is your first time meeting Pedro. So
It
Pedro
sure
and I
is,
grew up
sure
together
is.
from like age 6. That's 50 years, folks. I don't mind telling
Oh,
my
okay.
age. I don't mind telling my
I don't
age.
mind.
You know, I gained weight. Pedro didn't. So he had a beard when we were 6.
Really?
he had a great beard when we were 6. I gained all the weight. He But no, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have a fantastic show for you. Moore is a phenomenal saxophonist, and he's a phenomenal minister.
Thank
you. And I'm glad he's on. So welcome, my brother. Welcome.
Listen, thank you, Mr. Johnson. And it's funny that I should have to professionally say Mr. Johnson because coming up, listen, I'm gonna throw it out there real quick. He did a lot of speaking, you guys, of how well he thinks I can play the saxophone. But let me throw something out there. If you have not heard this man vocalize the word of God, you have been stealing from yourself.
No,
I suggest that you find him when he's singing and watch God move. Brother, I appreciate you having me on the show. And Val, other Val, thank you so much, young lady. Y'all have, I'm very humble because when you can run into people like you and they ask you to participate or serve on their show, if you don't know it, you should know it is an honor. Good evening to you both.
Well, good evening,
Thank
sir.
you. We're
And
welcome.
thank you for
Well,
that.
look,
Thank you for the
hey,
compliment.
Pedro, I'm finna do
Yeah.
something Valton would do to guests. So I think we got something coming on down the pipe. You know, Christmas coming up. Valton got that melodious voice. You blowing the sax. Oh, hey, y'all. I see a little criminal concert coming on up. So y'all need to go on and get with it. Get with it.
Well, Pedro, there's a song that I love that we could possibly do. Mary, did you know?
Oh,
Listen,
yes, I love it.
and I would be able to put that song out there and sing it, so to speak. Now listen, I won't sing with Valton on the same stage. Let me express
Whatever. Yeah, right, because I mess you up.
Listen, I will not open these lips
Whatever,
right
man.
to sing if Valton Johnson, the other half of the Val and Val show. Listen, no way. But what I would do is, because I know he can't play the saxophone, I will play the sax. And we've done it several times. We've been in lots of places as brothers in doing it because that's what he's doing what God has put him in the earth to do, and so am I.
Right.
Okay, well, look, hey, I'm typing it in our chat. We're going to have a Christmas show with Valton and Pedro. So, look, ain't no way y'all can back out. I'm putting this y'all legal contract.
Did you just
let me correct the record.
That's y'all legal contract.
Let me correct let me correct the record, folks. Let me correct the record. Now, Pedro is giving me these accolades. I can remember when Abraham Lincoln was trying a case. and the term is called ad hominem. Ad hominem. You can fact check me on this if you like. Abraham Lincoln knew that he was going to lose the case. So he started to talk about the man's clothing. So it would take the idea of the case away from the minds of the jurors and place it on the minds of the jurors about this man's dress. And that's what Pedro has done. He's taken the accolades that we've given him and placed them on my shoulder so you will look away from him. But he is the talented one, ladies and gentlemen. He is the talented one. I would not grace a stage with him because of what he has done. I'm telling you, this kid has been playing the sax since we were 50 years old since he's been playing this thing.
Well, let me ask you this, Pedro.
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
What led you to the sax? What was so intriguing about the sax?
That's a very interesting question. Listen, and I appreciate you asking that. This question, it puts me in the place to tell the truth about a lie I told. Let me tell you what I mean by that. I was walking down the hall in St. Mary's over in Fairfield, Alabama, because I knew I wasn't going to be a football player for, obvious reasons. And as walking down the hall, this my band director, Mr. Peterson was his name, tall, slender man that has a hue a little bit lighter than ours. I was walking down the hall and I heard music, but I couldn't see. So I took my what they call book satchel and I stood on it and I looked over into the music room.
And age.
And I heard the music, but I couldn't see where it was coming from. So when I looked over in there, I saw this little tiny dude, and he was laid all back, and he was blowing it. And it was so melodic, it really impressed me. So I ran home. I wish I had the sax. It's not here to show you. It's at my mother's home. But anyway, I ran home, and this is what I did. Because I had, according to the school, good grades. My parents trusted me. So what I did, I ran in the house and I told the exact opposite story of what Mr. Peterson told me. Mr. Peterson told me when he came out to find out why this kid is peeking in the band room window, he asked me what I wanted, and I told him what I wanted. I told him I heard the sound of, it was some other guy, I can't even tell you his name, but he was just killing the saxophone, and it was very impressive to me. And I knew, like I said, I wasn't gonna be a ball player, so I'm thinking, you know, I can do this music. And so I went in and I questioned him, and he expressed to me that I couldn't be in the band for 2 more years. You had to be in the 4th grade. So I immediately, tell the truth, y'all, I'm putting myself out there on Facebook. I immediately told my mother, Mr. Peterson said that I could be in the band. I immediately expressed that to her, and because my grades were good, most of you who are Birminghamians are familiar with a music store called Nuncie's. At that time, yeah, they took me straight to Nuncie's because my grades were good. And my mother said, he ain't gonna play no saxophone, I'm quoting. My daddy said, if he says he's gonna play it, he's gonna play it. We went, they bought the saxophone, it was $400 at the time. And that was a lot of money for people of my parents' budgets. Let me try to be diplomatic and be correct here. For people who had moved from Bessemer to West End, it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
So guess what they did? They bought it. Now I got to take it the next day. The next day, let me help you. The next day to the band room. So I'm on my way, and here's my mom, this frail lady. Valton Johnson can tell you she ain't never been a big lady.
Right,
okay?
right.
She volunteers to help me take my saxophone to the classroom. And I volunteered to tell her no. No, ma'am. I got it. I'm a big boy. That was my answer. I'm a big boy. So I dragged this saxophone that is bigger than me, which doesn't take much, to the band room. Mr. Peterson tells me, I told you, Pedro, and my name is Pedro. I told you, Pedro, you couldn't do this. And I said, yes, you did. Yes, sir, you did. But if you don't let me in the band, my parents are gonna kill me. Now he took that literally. So he marches me to the band, to the principal's office, tells the story. The principal lets me in the band in 2nd grade, and the rest is a blessing.
Wow.
And so that's how I started, by a lie, to be honest with you. Because this is what I felt it in my heart, like boom, 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 like what you see. It was just like that.
Yeah.
And I knew I could do it. And God has been blessing since.
Ever since. Yep. That's a good thing.
So basically what God did, he worked that bad for your good. Because you know, if your folks had found out you lied.
Well,
they found out they were grown and they couldn't spank me.
Right, right. I'm gonna remind Mom tonight when I talk to her.
now you're on the wrong street, Val.
Okay, now, Pedro, I want to go back to this $400 because we want to put this in perspective in case we got some young'uns out there watching. This was what year?
This was in 1972. I was in the 2nd grade. My mother nursed. My father worked at a steel plant, working a couple of jobs. And $400, I wish I should have brought the sax. I'm sorry, I didn't. But I have that representation still. The first sax I've ever played is at my mom's house right now. Valton, he can vouch for it. Let me tell you, it was a struggle But my dad, um, he believed what I said until he argued with the money keeper, my mother, his wife.
Mhm.
And he rebutted and said, because she said, no, he ain't going to do it. And he said, yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
And so in 1970, to answer your question, in 1972, the top of the line saxophone cost about $400.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I began to play on.
Yep.
And I wanted to bring that out because now people paying $200 for tennis shoes. Okay,
Yeah, that's
Correct.
true.
so $400, you all, in 1972. That was an ultimate
Yep.
sacrifice
That was a
for
house
his
payment.
parents.
That was a
Well,
house payment.
let me take that back. That ain't even no ultimate sacrifice, y'all. That was some faith walking, talking, and daddy had to know his little boy was gonna follow through on this. So going back to what we talked about even last week when my daughter was on,
Mhm.
parents, when you see things in your children,
Yep. Man,
it's worth
yep.
it's worth the
Brought out.
investment. Don't kill that which God has put in them, but it's
Right.
worth the investment. So,
Right.
honor to your parents for making that sacrifice for you
Right.
to be able to
Right.
play the saxophone.
Yeah.
And thank God he had your ear to hear that sound to think, "Woo, I like that." And I go back to what I say. God puts in us where he wants us to be before we were conceived. So
Right.
if we follow those things and build on them, we will land exactly what we're supposed to do. Now, sometimes we
Absolutely.
may take some different paths because sometimes we have to do what we have to do until we get to do what we really want to
Right.
do. So I just wanted to talk about that $400 because some of the young folks be like, $400. I
That
paid
ain't no
$200
money.
for the shoes. That wasn't no money, but we talking
Right.
1972, y'all.
Exactly. And I can remember my parents' house note was $385 a month
Yeah, back
during
then.
that. So he's got a instrument that he's gonna play around with that costs more than the house payment. Oh no.
Yeah,
It
that's
was,
it.
I tell y'all, listen, let me explain now. My mother has been one of my greatest supporters, but at that time, she didn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
But my father, he's deceased now. Um, Valton emceed my initial album release.
Right.
And he can tell you at that time, my father was dealing with dementia.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But as soon as that saxophone started playing, Val can tell you, he can tell you, it looked like his mind jumped time.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And he began to stand and
Right.
worship with
I
with
remember
me.
that. I remember that well. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And so God dealt with my father, who I didn't have the best relationship with, if I can be real open, since we're talking. But for some reason, he saw something that my mom, who I had a better relationship with, did not see.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful.
Because she said, listen, look at me. It doesn't take much to be bigger than me. In 1972, my saxophone was taller than me.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And so,
Right.
but I'm so grateful he's gone now. And there are a lot of issues. You know how that goes in families. But the
Mm-hmm.
one thing he did say is, we're going to buy it. And he
Isn't that
spent
something?
them $400 cash at Nancy's that day. And I'm grateful he did, because most of us don't know why we're in the earth. I know. Preach,
Wow,
Mm-hmm.
play that
that's
saxophone.
powerful. It's
Right.
powerful. And you know
Right.
what, Pedro? Let's talk about that a little bit more. You said something that's biblical. When you said you started playing the sax and your dad with dementia was able to know it was you playing the sax and to get up and start praising God. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
somebody else did it in the Bible.
Yeah.
David did that when Saul was going
David
out his
enjoyed
mind. He said, "Go
and
get him to play that harp," and it
before his
calmed.
clothes. Before
Get
his
him to play it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why y'all music therapy is really big now in
Yep.
healthcare.
Right.
They have
Right.
actually made music
Mhm.
therapy a part of patients that end up in the hospital long term with
Yeah.
cancer, dementia, and
Strokes.
various things. And it has proven that
Yeah.
it helps them with
Yeah.
the healing process.
Right.
So going back to that, that's why we need these arts in the school, you all.
Right.
Arts,
Right.
these musical arts will help some of these kids that they deem ADHD and all this other stuff. It will help
Mhm.
them use their creativity. That's all that's bottled up inside with these kids.
Yeah.
They need
Yeah.
a point that they can express themselves. So
So, ladies and gentlemen, right now we are listening to Conversation is Art, the Val and Val Show. Conversation is Art. Conversation is Art. And we have a phenomenal guest on, Mr. Pedro Moore Sr., or shall I say, the Reverend Pedro Moore
Oh Lord.
Sr.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord. Oh Lord.
So, I tell you what we're going to do right now. We're going to cue up one of your songs that I think
Okay.
was written by Marvin Winans or the Winans.
It was.
Okay.
It was.
And listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, as Pedro blesses our soul with this melodious tune from his sax. Reverend Pedro Moore.
you waiting on me.
Usually, if I say that, that would mean, ladies and gentlemen, in the world, that I'm
I had to
waiting on
mess.
music to cue up. We got to
I
go
had
back to the training. I hope I'm not gonna write your check this week.
look, I had to mess with you. I just had to mess with you.
Yeah, no, you have to
That
mess with the bees over there. Are we ready now, Val?
We
Conversation
finna
is art.
go.
Conversation is art.
yeah.
It will be all over in the morning.
Yes.
See, I told y'all. That's what 50 years of training and practicing and playing in front of large crowds will do for you.
For sure.
That's what's up, brother. That's what's up.
That was
Man,
so soothing and calming. La Cherie said, Pedro, it's always a pleasure listening to you perform.
yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
she is much like her husband. They just love me, and
Yeah.
and they will be kind. But let me tell you, that song ministered y'all to me,
Mm,
because in life we experience things that we overly concern ourselves with or worry about. And as I was sitting trying to just, determine, asking God what He wanted me to put on the album that came out in 2010 on the estimated time of arrival album, my album. I have to readjust. I'm sorry. And I was concerned or worrying about some things, and then I could hear Pastor Marvin and the remainder of the wine is saying, it's a waste of time. Don't do that. Because in just a few minutes, in the morning, it's going to be over anyway.
Right.
And so that inspired me. There's a Karen Kendricks. She's a local vocalist here in Birmingham. And Curtis Kendrick, he's a fascinating drummer. Now he's in a different state, but he is just amazing. And she did the vocals, and he helped write with me and produce this song. So thank God for the Kendricks that helped me make the production of this song.
Yeah. So are they of the Eddie Kendricks family?
They are not relative to that group of Kendricks. No, sir,
Okay.
they're not.
Okay.
okay, now Pedro, you say you did this in 2010, so it is now 20
21.
what? So what's up? What you got coming down the pipe now?
That
Surely, surely,
that
surely, surely, surely.
that that's a good question. And you know what? Thank you. I've been listen, since God has given me this to do, and I believe it ministers to His people, I refuse to rush it and haphazardly or halfway do it. I really wanted to tell you what I thought just then, but I can't because we're on Facebook. But I refuse to halfway do it, and so as of late, God has been putting people in my way. I've got about 6 of the songs done.
Okay.
Um, it should have, to be frank with you, come out a couple of years ago if I was going to do it on the world's schedule. But because I'm waiting on God to tell me, okay, go ahead and release it, I'm in the place of releasing an album with the name of Consecrated Praise. Let me say that again. It's called Consecrated. That means that I took time to hear from God before I put it out to His people.
All right.
And so, what date do I expect it? Probably 2022, to be frank with you
I'm glad
about
you
that.
said that. I'm glad you said that because as you were saying that, I was writing down this very. So, as you know, we have a movie coming out, an episode, series of
Hmm.
episodes,
Yes.
and my family reunion is in June of 2022. And I was thinking as you were talking, why not have you come and do the concert? Because we've been asked to do the original play Next of Kin in June
Right.
in
Okay.
Huntsville. Why not have you come
Okay.
and do a mini concert during intermission of that play? We could talk about that offline, but I wanted to just plant that in your spirit.
Thank you.
And that'll be June 2022.
Yeah.
I would be honored.
Mm.
And Valton, let me share this with our listening audience and those watching as well. Because one thing we try to do on this show, you all, is to connect people with people. when we see
Hmm.
opportunities. Valton, if he sees someone that he's like, wow, I could use them in my venue and help them out. And that's something we want to be about. Don't be afraid to help other people's.
Right.
God said that we are here to help each other. We need each other. Even if
Hmm.
they're in the same career field as you. You all, there's enough people in this world. And there's
Right.
enough work for everybody.
What God
Even
has
if
for you
we're,
is for you.
so we need to be willing to do that. And when you help someone, God will continue to enlarge your territory because He knows it's not about just enlarging it for you, it's for
Hmm.
you to bring somebody up with
Right.
you and
Right.
to move somebody forward. One of the things I really admire with Valton and his plays and his movie, Dondra Heights, is that he went out and saw people he saw that were talented that somebody else may look and say they ain't got enough experience. Well, you can't get experience if no one gives you an opportunity to get that experience. So that's something we want to do here on Conversation is Art, is you all to elevate people, and hopefully someone will see them on our show and say, hey, I could use them for something.
Right.
And as you all can see, Valton is quick to say, hey, I got this. And that's one thing I love about my co-host, you all. He is
You're
not just
very
looking
kind.
at doing things for himself. He's also looking at helping other people out as we all should be. And he didn't pay me, at least not yet. I'm
You
a
didn't get a
cash
He
out.
check.
will.
I'm gonna send
You
my
didn't.
cash out. Look,
Right.
let me send my cash out
Give
request.
me, give me that cash out real
Listen,
quick.
let
But
it come on. And let us.
but likewise, folks, Valerie giving me that plug is very appreciative. I'm appreciative of that. But Valerie is a healthcare professional, and she is on her game. Trust me, because when her daughter was on here last week, her daughter said I had to leave Alabama because I didn't want to live in the shadow of my well-known mom and dad. So she knows her stuff medically. She counsels us through the COVID situation and anything else that we need. So it's not about me. It's not about her. It's about us
Yeah.
trying to glorify the kingdom of God. Pedro, you had something
If
you
I,
want to add?
uh, is it okay if I interject just a little bit?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
sure.
Okay. In 1989, I was living in New Orleans. I was in the Navy, getting ready to get out, but at that particular time, I was still in. And this lady, she was right by the levee before it broke. You know
Mhm.
the story. She lived right there in what they call Algiers. And this lady cooked me gumbo every Sunday. Let me say that again, every Sunday. And so this one particular day, she was out on the Mississippi. She took me with her to go fishing. And the crab that she wanted, I can't tell you what kind it was. Doesn't matter. It was good when I ate it. She took me crabbing. And so I'm a let me see how to do this kind of guy. Show me if I don't have to get too dirty now. If I don't have to get too dirty. And so she, I know that's Valton laughing. And so look, this is what took place. This is what took place. She took 4 crabs, and I want y'all to please hear this. And she stuck them in a bucket, and she said, boy, when one of these crabs get out the bucket, you can come help me crab. 4 hours later, once she had finished crabbing, getting my dinner together for the next Sunday, those 4 crabs were in the bucket. Why are you saying this to us tonight, Pedro? I'm glad you asked. All those crabs had a darker hue, like me and you, and no one got out the bucket.
Mm.
Thank you, Valton.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Valerie, for letting us out the bucket.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's good.
That's deep. It's deep.
And that's what we got to
We,
do. You know what? Another
right.
thing too, Pedro, we got to be willing to I may have only gotten to the 50-yard line just because life and circumstances. But my
Sure.
goal should be to help you get to the 60, the 70. Don't be worried about I didn't get there.
Valerie,
I
I'm gonna
want to
stop you
help
right
in
there.
my profession. I want to help other nurses, people coming into nursing to know these are some avenues you can take that I didn't know about.
But
Right.
Valerie, here's the deal. Here's the deal, Valerie. There's not a 60 and 70-yard line. It goes to 50 and then it starts going back
I
down.
know what it goes to. I know football well. Now you can't out-talk me with football, baby. But I
It's
was
all
going
right. My
100.
point was
Okay.
good. My point was
Okay, hold
good.
on. No. I'm finna straighten him out. I'm finna straighten him out. When they catch the ball, as a matter of fact, when Alabama was playing,
Yeah.
when he ran the ball,
I know
when
what you're
he
talking
got
about.
to 50, they didn't start counting backwards.
Right.
Thank you
I hear
very
you.
much.
All right.
No, but here's what I think that is being said. Here's what I think is being said. Now, Valta knows I didn't do track, but I watched track.
Mm-hmm.
Get this. Here's what both of y'all are saying. When I get to my place to pass the baton, I should be able to pass it
Mm-hmm.
because I've carried it long enough.
As far as I can go.
I've done my duty. I've ran my course. Here's the baton, and I'm not passing. Watch a race. It's never passed backwards. It's always passed where?
Fast forward.
Yeah. And so, as a people, if I can do my power to the people statement, as a people, we have the responsibility to pass the baton like you and both Vals are doing forward.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, brother. It's
Look,
been
look, Lonnie Malone on here laughing at that conversation. I'm
I
telling you,
see it.
don't laugh.
What's up, Lonnie? You doing all right, boy? Also, got to give a
Hey,
shout out
look,
to
you
my
all,
wife.
we're honored. Look, he checking on us, y'all.
Basically, what he's doing, making sure we on point. our
Making sure we represent right.
yeah, our executive
Yes,
producer.
thank you, Lonnie. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I saw you with your saxophone when we was playing your didn't I see you with your saxophone?
Yeah, you did.
You
He's
know you
it's
saw
right
me.
behind.
You know you saw me with the
Yeah.
saxophone.
Okay, so you gonna pick it back up?
Yeah, he's got it. It's right next to him. He's got about 4 or 5 of them behind him.
Dalton, hold up, bro.
Yo.
She not asking you if it's next to me. She asked me if I was gonna pick the thing up.
You gonna pick it up and blow a little tune, a short tune?
Give us a
Listen,
snippet.
okay.
Give us a snippet
Okay,
of
watch this.
Amazing Grace.
Watch this. Very short.
Okay.
Dr. McClurkin is one of my very favorite. I don't have music behind me, so y'all better not laugh. I ain't playing.
What you gonna
You
give
gonna
us?
laugh up front.
Right.
Well, y'all go ahead
Give
and
my serious look. Look,
y'all
here
go
go.
ahead and pre-laugh.
I'm
Because I
ready.
gotta reach it, so I gotta turn away for a second.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
And grab it. Can I do that? Is that
Yeah.
cool?
Yeah, and look, you
Yeah,
all,
just
I'm
don't
gonna
leave. Just don't leave.
I'm gonna put
I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
I'm
He
putting
didn't have
Pedro's
Val,
contact
Val,
information up here.
Val, he didn't have to go too far. He told me I'm gonna turn away for a minute.
They're right there behind me, but I'm just trying to,
That's funny. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we knew what it was. You didn't have to tell us. We could follow that. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
Thank
Always,
you so kindly, sir.
always a good job. Always a good job.
Hey, y'all,
Praise
even though he was adamant he was not going to blow that tonight, we just
Right.
have
I'm
that way of
tired.
drawing
I'm
you out.
tired. I'm tired. But
It's
he's got
because of the influence of the Val and Val Show.
you better say it.
You
You
don't know
better
what may
say it.
happen. That's what our theme song say. The Val and Val Show.
Yo, the fireside chat, brother. So, ladies and
That's
gentlemen,
it,
we've
baby.
enjoyed our time tonight with Pedro Moore, and he is a phenomenal guest, brother in Christ, brother in life, saxophonist, and all those things. And we thank you, brother, for being on this show tonight, for gracing us with your presence. Excuse me, taking the time out of your schedule, because I know getting off work and doing this type of thing can be exhausting. And Valerie, thank you again for the awesome co-host that you are, and for Lonnie for having the vision, for Carter for doing all the booking, and for our family for supporting us while we take this time away from them, because I can smell dinners are cooking, dinners are cooking, dinners are
Yes.
cooking. So I'm gonna have to go upstairs momentarily and have dinner with my wife and all that good stuff. So
That's it.
yeah.
Lashery, listen, sister, thank you. I saw you. Thank you for lending my brother to us, and whoever is connected to. Oh, there we are. Now I see it. I just rolled it down. Now I can see us. Y'all didn't tell me to roll the thing.
Pedro is on a
down.
flip phone, ladies and gentlemen. He is on a flip phone, ladies and gentlemen, and he is just now being able to see 45 minutes later.
No, it's operator error. I could have just slid the thing down. I'm so embarrassed. But anyway.
He said he had an iPhone, but it is an iPhone. It covers his eyes.
You wrong for that. You wrong for that.
So, somebody send him to his room. I will call Mrs. Johnson in 1 minute. Now I see it. Y'all so cool looking. This is cool. I'm glad I didn't see it up front, because I probably
Oh
missed
my
it.
God.
So now we got to do the interview all over again. All right, ladies and
No.
gentlemen.
Thank
you.
y'all.
Okay, y'all, we finna start over because he just figured it out.
Yeah.
Listen, I wrote it down by accident, and I looked. I said, "Oh my God, that's what they're talking about." Listen,
Right.
Thank y'all for having me. It's a blessing.
Yeah, man.
And young lady, I'm so glad to meet you. My brother, I've known all of our lives, and I feel like if I know him or know him, I know you. And I really do appreciate it. Now, next time, if they mess around and call me, he gonna sing something, and then I play for real.
Well, y'all got a Christmas concert, so get them practicing, get ready.
We're ready.
We ain't scared. We ain't scared.
Hey, I wrote it down.
That's good, because we've been doing this 50
for a long time. A
long time.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we thank y'all all for joining us tonight, and we cannot leave tonight without telling you all how to get in touch with us. If you know someone want to be on the show, if you know of someone that if you're out there want to be a sponsor, this is the guru right here. This the man right here, Mr.
Carter
Law.
He can hook it up.
The law man himself.
Yep.
He can get it all done. So we are so glad to have him. And this is how you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and our Gmail again, which is on the Carter information. We are just so glad that we're on this journey with you all. We're in year 2, and we're looking for it to continue as we grow and continue to promote others as God enlarges our territory, because that's what Val and I are believing for.
That's right.
And it will come to pass.
Yep. In fact, next week we have
some closing remarks.
Yeah, next week we have Comedian Joy. Comedian Joy will be with us next week, followed by I think someone that Val is lining up. And hey, check this out, guys. November is knocking on the door. Thursday night, November the 11th, is Veterans Day. So we may just do a special Veterans Day commemoration. Then we will follow up with a Christmas program. Pedro, that's when I will show them what we got.
We gonna show it to them, baby. We gonna show it to them.
We're gonna give them a little that fire.
Listen, I'm thinking that if we put the fire on the heat, Mr. Adolphus Johnson Sr. and his beautiful wife will be jumping up and down, and my dad as well. Hey, absolutely. Just in case y'all don't know, he's a conglomeration. If you look at that face you're looking at, of his mama and his dad.
Who? Valton is.
Huh?
Valton is.
Yeah, as is Pedro. He looked like his mom and his dad.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So join next week, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do something for the veterans. Then we're going to come back in December and do a little Christmas something. So get ready. We may even do that live from my house.
Yeah. And you all please share. All share us on the platform. Share our Facebook page. Share us on YouTube so we can broaden our reach. Look, you never know. Somebody in your family may get a benefit from Conversation is Art. So you got to promote. And it don't cost you anything to hit that share button.
Exactly. You may become one of Pedro's backup singers. You may be an extra or lead in the movie. You may even end up in the hospital and Val has to take care of you. Whatever the case,
you know.
You just never know. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you with these words. I tell us the hot. I tell us the cold. I tell us the young. On this show, we don't want no lying. On this show, we don't want no signifying. On this show, we really don't want no crying. Peace, love, and happiness. And put all the happiness in
I just felt that in my spirit.
All that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, thank you all for joining us. Good night.